Yay, we're gonna. Okay, you guys, I forget that it always says we're gonna record, but I'm excited to get this Zoom started. Tonight's training is gonna be keeping it simple, consistent, and focused. And last week we had an amazing Zoom, you guys, with Amber just sharing some of the tips that she incorporated and just knocked it out of the park with customers. And I just watched these two girls that we're going to have on tonight just really crush it at the end of the month. And so it's exciting when you guys get to hear, okay, what was it? Was it a mind shift? Was it just something simple they did? And so I'm excited to share that. So I want to welcome you guys. I am Stephanie Dunn. I've been with the company for 12 years, and I'm still constantly learning and trying new things and always asking and seeing what people are doing. And one of the themes that I always hear and see is consistency, not giving up, because we just never know when something can take off. And so I think tonight you're going to take lots of notes. It's just going to be good. Is it too quiet for you guys? Hey, Joel, I don't know. It might be. Okay, you guys can hear. Maybe on your computer, just go ahead and just hit the volume up and you should be good. But I want to know if you guys are ready. If you're ready, in the comments, drop a 1 if you're ready to hear what are these tips that they did. And tonight's Zoom, if you saw a post or a leader share, it's maybe how can we get more than 50 customers in a month? And what a great way to start out the month is understanding and knowing what is it that you're going for and how can we do that. And I want you guys to write down keeping it simple. Like, that is the thing. I think sometimes we just get into our own head. Being consistent, even on those days that you feel like, oh, can I get these messages out? Yes. And then staying focused. And 15 minutes, like, that's what I want you guys to realize. It's just so simple on how focused energy can get you the results that you're needing. So I'm excited to start off August. And so let's see if we can bring on Sherry. Can you unmute yourself?
Hello.
Yay. I'm so excited, you guys, to have Sherry. She is like the best, super positive, always looking for the best, consistent, willing to help anybody and everyone. And so I want to have her share a little bit of her story, because I think a lot of people think, how can I do this business working full time, being a wife, being a mom, being taxi driver to all of the kids? And is there a way to do this? And you guys, she is busy. She is so busy. And I was excited to see at the end of the year, she had vacation in last month. She had all the things. She didn't make excuses. She didn't beat herself up. But then when she got back, she got to work. She listened to Amber's Zoom last week. So if you need to go back into the YouTube and rewatch that Zoom, I would recommend doing that and then following up with this. And who knows, maybe you'll be the next one on. So Sherry, tell us who you are, where you're from, what rank are you, and all of the things. And I'll get into asking you your questions.
Hi, everybody. I'm Sherry Ward from Indiana. I'm in a little town just south of Fort Wayne, and I'm double diamond. And the real truth is I'm a full-time working mom, and I have 2 busy boys in all of the sports, travel sports, and we're never home. But I have learned that this business your life doesn't have to fit into the business. You choose to fit the business in when you can, where you can, whether it's carpool line, whether you have to take the kids early to. Ours is like pregame. We have to be there an hour early. So instead of driving back home, I sit there and I can do some work. And then the other moms around me can see how easy it is that I'm truly making money from my phone, not having to drop my kids off and go to a second job. And so for that, it's been a blessing because it's been able to help cover a lot of those costs. My true confession is I was always the person who looked at all of you guys who are already staying at home and thinking, it's easy. They get to work from home. They don't have a schedule. They don't have to go to work and deal with all the meetings. You guys, vacation was a reminder that's not true. I was terrible. Not having a schedule did me no good. I thought I'd have all day to send all the messages, whether it was lag of signal, whether it was lack of discipline or everybody else just needing something else from me, I did not work very much on vacation. Sorry, it's true. However, I felt it and I saw my slacking because my numbers were not where they normally were when I got home. And Amber's call last week really was what I needed to see, because I'm the person who I would message, but I would overthink it. I would overanalyze. Ooh, maybe I shouldn't ask them to post for me, or ooh, they're gonna be mean to me. And I've been in the business for a minute, and I still have those fears. And so what she taught us, and I did it right before we got on. I just got home from school registration, and I sat down at 7:30, and I sent 30 messages in 8 minutes. By not overthinking it. So if you didn't look, I'll tell real quickly, Steph. I don't know if you want me to. If you watch the Zoom, she goes on and she tells you how to go to your friends and sort them. And then you scroll through and you find mutual friends and you just message all those people. And I'm not, even tonight, I had to think a couple times before I hit send, but I did it. And I got my messages out, and I already had 3 hosted posts put up before I got on here tonight.
You guys, she said 8 minutes from doing the work. And so some of the things that I want you guys to know is she's not making excuses. She ended up, I asked her, like 14 or 15 loyals in the last couple days of the month, you guys. So it's never too late to start. And I think what a great time to start. It's the beginning of the month. People are going back to school. And they're thinking, oh my gosh, how am I going to pay for this back to school? How am I going to do all of these things? Christmas is coming. And so people are going to start thinking about that. So they're going to be looking for ways, how can we make some extra money? Here's the thing that you guys have to be. She said, a couple of key things is disciplined. She does it in the places that she needs. So where is it during your day that you have the 15 minutes that you can send out 30 messages? Now that sounds like a lot, and it's not when you don't think, when you're not getting on the social media and really over analyzing and looking and commenting and doing all of those things. We want you to get those out. You can do the other things, but you've got to get those in, because the ask is the important part. We've got to get the ask in so that the hosted posts are up, so that you have more people to follow up with for product and then following through with business. So what did it for you, Sherry, on that Zoom last week? Something clicked. Was it because you were like, you know what, I'm just going to get these messages out. I'm going to shoot for the 10 a day. I'm going to track it. What was it that really made you go, okay, I'm doing this? And do you have a message that works for you, that's working?
I just really, what got me was my lack of work. I looked at my numbers just to write it down. Like, I usually have no less than 20 to 36 loyal customers a month is where I've averaged, working full time and running around. And trust me, you guys, I'm nothing special. It's just being consistent. And I know if I was more consistent, I could help even more people and share it with more people. And that's the real thing. But when Amber shared her rut with us, I was like, it's nice to know you're not the only one in a rut. Like, even these people who have it all together fall in ruts. And when she showed her simple messaging system, because sometimes you just got to switch it up. Like, right, if what you're doing is working, leave it alone. But if you're not getting the results, and I wasn't, I was trying to look, I had 3 loyal customers by the 14th of last month. That's it. And I ended the month with 25, and 14 of those came the last week of the month once I started this new process. So when I went and did the messaging, when I saw how quickly she could do it, I thought there's no excuse, Sherry, whether you do it in the morning, whether you do it on your lunch break, whether you do it as you sit down and cook dinner, whatever. You can get 15 minutes, hide in the bathroom. You can get it done. Mm-hmm. And then choose to and that's the thing, you guys. I often hear my phone, or I feel it, or I see it. You don't have to answer that message as soon as it comes through. That's what sounded so good to me, is send your messages, walk away, go to bed. I want more time with my family. That's why I'm doing this. So my goal is, I have a job that I love, but I don't love it more than my family. And my kids are getting older. And how else am I going to be able to give them more, be with them more, if I don't earn the money from my phone? Either that, or I'm going to have to go somewhere and do it. So if I can send these messages and walk away, that was beautiful. And then when you get back on, then you can respond. then you can have them host a post. And it's okay if the people who comment on your host a post wait also. Sometimes it's actually good for your algorithm. And that took a little bit to learn, but it was good to hear other people say it.
Yeah, it was, it's eye-opening when you hear it from somebody else and then knowing, okay, not only these two girls that I have on tonight are doing well, multiple people that listened to it and applied it are having success. And so I think you guys really need to make sure that you rewatch that, watch the host to post video on how to host a post. So if you're new, I'm excited for you because this is really a foundation that we can really knock out those customers every day, each week, month after month. And, I hear, 14, 15 loyal customers that last week of the month. Now that she knows she can knock those asks out quickly, I have no doubt that you're going to see yourself getting 60 to 70 loyal customers in a month because it's focused time, it's focused energy instead of going on there and then kind of wasting our time and not getting those out and wondering, okay, I need to answer all these people. Are they going to message? You're waiting for them. I know you guys are to respond because you sent it and you keep looking at the same ones. And so I think that was just a huge reminder of doing those things. Something else that Sherry texted me and she said this was a kind of a light bulb moment for her. And I think for you guys is just the reminder of asking if you've ever thought about making extra money. You already did what I do. Would you be open to that? And that is a fear for a lot of people just to do the ask. And so I promise you, you won't die. But if you don't ask, the answer is no anyway. So just ask. And most people are super nice. So that was huge for you, Sherry, right? To be able to go, okay, I want to ask. And I know you've been around, for a little bit, but knowing, oh, why am I not asking and not judging? I think that was one of the things. So what was it that clicked for you? Was it the simplicity of the message? Was it because you weren't doing it? Like, what was it? I don't want to speak for you. So tell me what that was for you.
It was the reminder of that. I've kind of gotten that from you. You've always said that. You guys just have to ask afterwards, but for some reason, I figure I've got the customer, I've gotten them everything they need, on to the next. Like, I don't want to ask them now to be a distributor because then I'm taking it away from being that loyal customer. But as you really learn, it's more than just, you don't want to just get the customer. You want to offer them everything that they can, because what if you were just a customer? Like, you never knew that you could make the money while using the product. So what are they going to tell me? No. What are they going to do? Unread my message? That's okay. On to the next. But eventually, and many of them have told me no, or said, I've been thinking about it. They did not. I'll be honest. I got no distributors last month, but I didn't ask enough. I didn't ask enough until the end, but I'll tell you what I did do with those last 14 customers, and I'll put the host to post up. I planted a seed. So those distributors are going to come in my harvest in these months that are coming. And that's okay, because now they're going to watch my page more and see if what I'm doing is really something that they feel comfortable doing. And it was like Amber said, just ask and go on. Who cares what they say? And again, it's hearing it from someone else.
You guys, so the ask, and so a lot of people weren't maybe on the Zoom last week, but it was just a simple, going through your friends list, not judging, sending out 30 messages. You can go alphabetical, you can do it however you want, but just asking, hey, can I ask you a favor? We're blessing someone, if you're in a giveaway, $500 this month, would you mind sharing a post for me? Most of them are like, sure, yes. And so then they'll share the post with you. And then the next question after that is, have you ever thought about doing what I do? You already just posted just like I do. And so that is every person that hosts a post for you, you should be asking, not even waiting for somebody to be a loyal customer, because that person may want to be a distributor. We don't know that they're looking to make extra money, or maybe they're like, oh, that was easy. And you guys know now, Sherry just said she got 30 asks out in 9 minutes. So if we can do that a couple times a day, 2 to 3 times a day, if you're getting those asks out, there's, 30 minutes maybe of getting the ask out, and you should hopefully be getting, your 5 to 10 host to post up. and then those potential loyal customers for there. So I think, if you have an hour a day, you can have huge, massive success if you stay the course, if you stay focused on what you want, what your goal is. Don't beat yourself up. Okay. If somebody doesn't respond to the message, if they don't, if they tell you no, it's okay. You want to move on. And I think the more that you do it, the easier that gets. It's almost, and I don't want to say this like it sounds terrible, like a game, but treat it like that. It's a business, and not everybody's going to want what we have, and that's okay. Right. So it's moving on to that next person. So if you guys can get really honed in now at the beginning of the month, knowing exactly what do you want. And I think even new distributors, all the way that if you've been in and you just decided tonight that this is something that you want to do, is I believe that you can get 30 loyal customers easily. I actually believe that you can get 60 loyal customers. That's 2 a day. I don't think that that's anything like shooting for the moon, like ridiculous. I believe that by doing that work and being consistent with it and doing it, getting your messages asked. So if you go ahead and ask 30 people tonight after you get off the Zoom, you're going to have those people to follow up with in the morning. You're going to start to create that system that works for you, and it's going to go boom, 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 boom. It's going to go super fast. So I think make sure you guys do that, and no extra fluff. Of course, we want to do stories. You want to show your life. You want to do those things in between, but most people do that without the business, and they're not getting paid, and we are. So think about that. Think about all the people that are already on social media doing all those things, and you can message them confidently knowing, hey, if you have an extra hour a day, you can totally do what I do, and you can actually make money. So I think that's important kind of to know that. So Sherry, was there anything else, like, you kind of made it light, like, oh, I'm busy, but you are really, really busy. And I just want others to hear, are you confident knowing someone that works full time, someone that has kids, someone that's that has a lot of sports? Do you feel confident in offering, yes, you can have the time to do this?
I do. And I am, and it's, you kind of have troubles talking about yourself sometimes, but even I fail with my team sometimes, keeping up with them to get us all on Zooms at the same time. We have great group chats, and I want to tell you, our team has really kicked off from this last week. Also, it's helped a lot of our girls find the simplicity in messaging and see that they can get those $100 weekly bonuses. You guys, 5 customers in a week right now gets you $100 in your pocket next Thursday on top of your commissions. But to answer you, I tell people that I talk to, honestly, I find working moms and big moms say we have no time for nothing else the most successful, because we already hustle and squeeze everything else in. And so to say, I can't fit anything else on my plate, it's just, do you choose to scroll? Do you choose to watch Netflix? Or do you choose to prioritize just 30 to 60 minutes? And it doesn't have to be together. I'm an early morning person, but there's still sometimes I choose to do stuff around my house and not my business. So then I have to prioritize that later on my lunch hour or whatever it is I'm doing. And so to say I'm busy, I'm a person who wakes up in between 4 and 6 a.m. I work 40 hours a week. That is a 50-minute drive from my home. I have 2 kids who are in middle school who play all the sports, and I don't even pay anybody to clean my house yet. I don't know why. But the point is, I still can fit it in this business, and I am going to, as much as I love my job, I'm going to replace my income. And once I have it replaced by an additional 20,000, I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm doing it.
And I love that. Like, that's it. You got to know what you want to go after. And I'm super excited for that. So guys, I want you to know, give Sherry some love, because I think, we come into this and we think, okay, we see top leaders, we see other ones doing it, but there's so many, anywhere from a distributor, Ruby, Emerald, that are having huge success. I can't wait. Ashley shared with me on a text tonight, somebody had 51 loyal customers last month. So is it possible? Yeah. And she's not even a diamond yet. She's, I think, Ruby or Emerald or somewhere in there. So it's just deciding to put in that focused work. So get yourself a notebook out, get something out to be organized starting tonight. I think that will help you guys so much in understanding by just doing this, what it can do for your business. Because, a lot of the times we get in this, we're all excited and we're focused for a couple days and then nothing. And so what I want you guys to do from this Zoom is to be consistent. Give yourself, like Amber said last week, 7 days. So from today until next Monday, see how you did, track that. Where can you do better? Can you add to? And for those of you that are overachievers, I love this. Like we say, okay, send out 30 messages. You may end up doing that 3 to 4 times a day because you want more, and that's okay. This is just kind of that starting point of getting you to be consistent, because I believe that we should have 50 plus loyal customers every single month, each and every one of you. There's enough people to do that. So I think write those notes down, go after it, keep it simple, consistent, and focused, and watch your business explode, because fall's coming too. It's like people are ready. They're so ready. So I appreciate you, Sherry. I'll come swing back around for a couple last minute things. If you have a couple of the scripts, even if they're ones that you've gotten from other people, I'm going to have you drop those in the chat so people can see. You guys, it's really all about copying the right cat. It's okay to copy the right things. Make these words a couple, maybe switch them up, make them yours a little bit. But Sherry's really good at following the people that have had success and doing it herself. She's not worrying about like, oh my gosh, I need to change up this message. I need to do all these crazy things. She just gets it done. So she's going to share with you, and you may have seen these messages, but this is what's working for her. So she's going to drop those there, and you guys can copy and paste those into your phone. So thank you, Sherry. We'll swing back around. Let's bring on Mandy, because she's another one that crushed it. Mandy, can you unmute?
Hi.
Hi. I'm so excited to have Mandy on, you guys. She is another one. Like Sherry and Mandy are both super outgoing, super positive. Like life can be thrown at them and they still look like they have the best life in the world. Like they're just happy. So I love that, because that's who I want around me always, is positive, exciting people. And I love them both like so much. And Mandy's consistent. Like if you guys go to both of their pages, both of these girls are consistent in posting their life, but always through stories, they're talking about some kind of product. Like, and again, I can look at Mandy's page, go into her stories, and she's screenshotting, copying, not always creating her own, but sharing things that work. So it's okay, like I said, to copy the right cat. But Mandy, you kind of blew up. So kind of the same. You watched the Zoom from last week, but I also love what happened for you for being consistent. I think 14 loyals in a couple of days must be like the key or something, because I think your number was right around there too. I was like, okay, so everybody's going to get off this, and in 2 days we're all going to blow up and have like 14, 15 loyal customers in 2 days. That's what I'm going to speak over each and every one of you, and we're going to nail it out after this Zoom. But Mandy, I want everybody to know you are an emerald in the business, going for diamond, but tell them you are another one, busy mama, wife, work full time. So tell everybody who you are, where you're from, all of the things.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Steph, for having me on. Everybody. So my name is Mandy Hetzner. I'm a mom of 2 girls who are 8 and 5 years old. I work 40 hours a week. The girls are in dance and they love to do other types of things. So we just kind of run around with them and do adventures because we love to give them experiences. And so my typical schedule is Monday through Friday. And then of course I have the weekends off. But one thing that I have noticed is I tend to stay most focused during the week. But back to that, I'll get back to that. So basically, I was in the business from 2016 2020, and I was under a different leader. At the time, there was no boards app, there was no anything like that. And so I was just kind of winging it, and I was not doing all the right things, meaning I wasn't messaging people. I was posting, but I wasn't messaging people. The leadership, I didn't have proper structure, so I just didn't know what to do. And I struggled, and I just kind of gave up and just kind of let it ride and did nothing for a couple of years, and then eventually just stopped being a distributor in 2020. And then something happened. I was just communicating with Steph. Because I had been in the business, I knew who Steph and Joel were. I were following them. And I just seen her posting a picture about the lake they live on. And I was like, what the heck? Where is this lake? Because I'm sorry, I'm from Michigan as well, guys. I'm about 2 hours east of Steph and Joel. So I just messaged her one day and I'm like, hey, where's this lake? I want to get an Airbnb on here. So I talked with her and she told me the lake. And then once I got the place, I'm like, thank you so much. And then we just started this conversation and she's like, are you a rep with It Works? And I'm like, well, yeah, for like 4 years, but I'm out. And she's like, what happened? And I told her. And then she's like, well, you know what? Things can be different. If you trust me and follow my lead and be coachable, things can happen. And I'm like, well, okay, super reluctant, but I took a chance and I'm so glad I did. So I rejoined in March and of this year, and I've just used the boards app. I've been using scripts. I've been, like Steph says, I try to mix in business with my life, because somebody doesn't want to see constant business posts. They want to, like, they can buy online from anybody, really. I mean, there's Amazon, there's all these other business, places that you can just buy to buy. But when somebody has a connection to you through what you post, and they can identify with you in some way, maybe you have something in common, they're more apt to buy from you because they trust you and they feel like they know you because you're kind of like them. And so I've just, kind of taken that formula and fit it in where I can. So when it comes to posts, I just, posted stories, I just fit it in. And then messaging, again, it's just like morning here, lunch here. And that was before Amber's Zoom, actually, because I'm a very analytical mind. I like to assess, I like structure, I like, tell me how to do this X, Y, and Z kind of deal. And when Amber laid it out super simple and then said, like, only like the last bit of your day, you have to really focus in. I mean, sure, you're going to do stuff during the day, but like when she told us like 30 at the end of the night and then just going to bed, I was like, what? I'm used to like messaging people right away when they respond. I'm kind of having anxiety over this. But it's kind of one of those things I just got to let go of and trust that they can wait overnight in the next morning, and maybe anyway that'll help build whatever they're thinking about the business. And so it's just kind of one of those things. And so even though it's only been over a week since that training, it really was something that I really felt was a true eye-opener, because I don't have a whole lot of time, like Sherry doesn't have a whole lot of time during the day, and to have somebody lay it out in a very simple way that we don't have to do all the things all of the day, that was huge for me. And that was definitely a game changer, because let me tell you, I'm like, the last week of July was where it was at for me. And
it was huge. Yeah. You guys, I have to come back around because I want you to know, I remember going through Mandy's page a little bit. So we were back and forth on Instagram. I really wish I could get my old Instagram back. Wah, wah. But anyway, she looked fun and it looked like she had done It Works. And so you guys know that people may have posted years ago, it looks like they've done It Works. Don't be afraid to ask them. I want you guys to know that. So hopefully that was kind of encouraging to, to look at that too. Is I do take the time to scroll through people's stuff and see, are they fun? Like, what are they doing? She loves travel. So we really talked a lot about that, but I could tell it looked like she had used the product. And so don't be afraid to see if it's something that they've ever thought about coming back, because what she told me is, I love the product. I'm like, then why aren't you doing it? Why did you quit? Like, why would you do that if you love the product? I don't understand that. And so just getting out a little bit information of not really having a direction and knowing and having a relationship. So making sure that you stay connected with the person, like it goes on both ends. So don't be afraid. Like, of course we can only lead a horse to the water. We can't make it drink, right? But she's guzzling the water like she wants it. So I'm happy to like share for all of you guys. Here are all of the things, and it's just getting into the action and following suit and following the leaders and following these girls on what they're doing. But I hope that was encouraging. If that is for you guys, like you see all the time, people may have posted, you know, in their Instagram, and maybe they don't post a lot. It might have been an It Works post, but don't be afraid to ask them, hey, are you still an active distributor? Because they may not be. And the worst case is I'm like, well, let me see if you are, because you can check to see if they're active or not. And you can get with your uplines to have them search that. So that's kind of a hidden tip that nobody really talks about, is don't be afraid to do those kind of asks. But you said you knocked it out the end of the month. You guys, I think this is important to know, being consistent on what happened for her. What did happen for you? So you've got the host to post up, you were doing the asks, and what happened?
So the main part of 3/4 of the month was actually rather slow. I would have people, I'd ask for a host to post and they wouldn't respond to me, or maybe they commented on one of my giveaway posts and yet they still didn't respond to me. I was like striking out left and right, but I was determined. I'm like, no, I have to turn this around. I'm not giving up. And then you did one of the task posts that you do during the week. It was the gummies one that you posted, I believe, on the 26th of July. And I posted that post on my page and I got a big response from it. I got a couple LCs from that, but the real deal was when I had one of my friends comment on, I think it was like a interactive like giveaway post, like salty or sweet, and it was like, and she's a photographer, and she was like, she's like, oh, I can't decide both. And so then I commented and like messaged her separately. I'm like, hey, thanks for commenting on my giveaway post. I really am excited to give you this opportunity. This is life-changing money, and would you be willing to put up a post for me? Really simple. And then, I'll do the rest. You don't even have to worry about messaging people. I'll take care of it. And so she's like, yeah, sure. And so I literally I modified it a little bit. The gummies post that I did, a couple days prior or a day prior, I modified it to say my girl is looking for 10 volunteers. And then I added an expiration date, right? July 31st. And then of course I included that there was a free product as part of it. And free product, expiration date, you only have this much time. And I think it was like 31 people that commented on her post real quick. And it was from that moment on, it was like, I was blown away with the interest, like people saying, I'm interested. I message them, being like, hey, thanks for commenting, and they're like, I'm like, do you want more info? And they're like, yep. And so I give them the script for like what the gummies are. And then, they of course typically ask about the price. And then I went into this spiel, but I kind of modified it a little bit compared to the script that was that I had been using previously when it came to like pricing and explaining the program and whatnot. So
I'll have her to share you guys in the comment section kind of what the script is, if you can do that, Mandy, if you can put that into the comments to what you're doing. Again, you guys are probably find these all on Boards app. Like I already know, I'm like, they're going to say, Mandy, what was the post of the day that you shared in our team page? We like to give post ideas, story ideas. We just never know when is going to work. And so that comes down to being consistent and doing the things and not worrying about the comments, worrying about if you get the likes. You got to do the things because people will sometimes come back and scroll through your page to see what you're about. And so I want you to know, don't kind of put your blinders on. Mark talked about that, like with the noise and stuff, is don't worry about all of the stuff going on over here. This is what we do, and stay focused on doing those things. And so one of the other things that I had said is, do you trust me? You guys got to trust the process. And that's a hard thing when you want it so bad. Like I get it, because I'm like, I'm so determined. I'm so aggressive, you guys. I do not like to lose. That does not, like, when I have a goal in mind, like I want it to happen. And so I just know that I trust the process because I will be rewarded. Right. So you have to trust the process consistently, day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year, because that consistency pays off in the long run. And so trust the process. You have amazing leadership and it works. We give you all of the things, all of the tools to do the work. We're leading you to, I want to say, like the pot at the end of the rainbow, right? Like we're leading you to the water. So make sure that you just do the work to have the reward. Somebody is going to be rewarded because they're doing the work. And I hope, that work is done by you that's on the Zoom, and it doesn't take a whole lot. It's just focused. But go back to what you were, because you were looking for something, Mandy. I didn't mean to interrupt, but I wanted people to hear like that little tip too.
Yeah, so I just posted my response regarding the price as it pertains to the gummies. And, obviously you can adjust this depending on the product. I was trying to make it so that they could see not only the price for one item, but seeing the price for 2 or 3. And it seemed like a lot of the people that were commenting on this one post for the host to post were saying, I'll take 3 bottles. And I'm like, oh, nice. I'm like, awesome. Yes, you're absolutely. And then I would probably try and upsell the cleanse for most of them, because that's just really easy to do. And a lot of people that are doing the gummies are usually like to do the cleanse as well. So I kind of tried to partner with that. But I kind of tried to frame it in a way where it was a subscription box. That's less scary than auto ship for some reason for people. This was the first time I used the script in this way. And it seemed like people were more comfortable with that wording, subscription box versus auto shipment. So
I like that. Let me see. You guys can go to Mandy's page too. I'm just going to show you because she posted it. I'm going to show you the picture. Make sure you guys go to like Pinterest, Google something, but this is the picture that she used, because you're not going to be able to see. I can't put the picture in the chat. I'll read this and then I'll put this in the chat, because you're all like, can you give me what she used? You guys, it's so simple. This was the first one that she used to get some interaction. Again, don't be discouraged, but you can give this to people. Like she said, my friend Mandy is looking for, but this one's on her wall and it says product models needed. If you could chew 2 gummies per day and lose up to 30 pounds the next 90 days, specifically charting your tummy, would you try it? I need 10 volunteers. I think that's the part that people are wanting, is the 10 volunteers in 24 hours. And that's really it. So offer expires, and give them an expiration date. So I'll make sure that we have this up here for you guys in a second. But really that's it, is just get a gummy picture. Don't overthink what you're putting up there. Just get it out so that you have conversation with people. I think that's the thing, is it's opening the door for conversation, whether that's people are like, well, what if they think it's free or whatever. It's, you didn't say anything. You just wanted to make sure that you got them in the door, let them know the options, like here's samples. And maybe if you want to give them a sample of something to post for free, to post for you, and give them a free sample of greens, coffee, whatever, you can do that too. So there's a lot of different ways. It's just what can get the most interaction, and just getting it out there. And I think we just don't know what post it's going to be, when it's going to be, the time of day, just throwing it up whenever you can, just to see what it is. So those are pretty good. Anything else that you can think of, Mandy? I think really she uses boards. So most people, if you don't have the boards app, go download boards. Ask in your team page if you don't know what that is, because I think that's the key, is understanding and knowing how to use the boards. And you guys can go to YouTube and always Google and learn how to use boards. But it's pretty simple. I think it's probably one of the simplest apps, because I am like the worst when it comes to tech. Anything technology, I'm like, oh my gosh, if I can do this, and figure it out, then anybody else can do that too. So take the time. Sometimes we're like, oh my gosh, we just need it right now. And you text your person that you sponsored, and then sometimes we're quick just to give it to you, but try to learn and say, hey, I want to learn this too, but can you help me through this because I'm ready to rock and roll. So I think that that's good. Yeah, she's putting them in there. Everybody's getting them in there. Oh, good. Thanks, Kristen, for putting. Yeah, you guys already have the scripts, I think. Sherry, thanks for putting in there that you can put any Pinterest should be like a favorite in your phone as well, just to Google or look up anything gummies, any of the product that you're looking for to attract them. So cleanse, all those pretty drinks, it just draws them in, right? And that's what we're looking for to do. So I just want to encourage you guys to do that and not be afraid to put in. If you guys go to my story, I'm not afraid to talk about the business. I probably talk about the business more so than the product, and whatever you're passionate about is generally what you're talking about. And I'm passionate about business. So don't be afraid to put on polls, to get more information, see who's looking at your stories, and to reach out to those. So I'm quick to get my messages out at night or during the day, whenever you want to do that. I love the idea of just putting my phone down, messaging, but then going back into my story and seeing who's watching it, and then saying, hey, have you ever thought about doing what I do? I am not afraid to ask that question. And so that is just hands down one of the best places for me to get distributors, is by reaching out and asking, because they're watching you. So if they're watching you, why wouldn't you want to join me? Like, come on. So I think that's why I just get excited. I know that it's changed my life. For those of you that don't know, I was going through bankruptcy. Life was really tough. On the outside, we had businesses, but they were failing. People didn't know that our businesses were getting shut down. And so on the outside, everything looked good. And so keep that in mind. Everybody may be posting and sharing their highlights, but they may be desperately drowning and needing the extra income. And so don't be afraid to ask that. I was waiting and praying for something, not thinking it was It Works. And it was brought up to me. And I wish that somebody would have brought it up earlier, because I was willing to do the work. And so looking back, they said, we'll do this. You host a wrap party, you talk to people. I'm like, okay, well, I'll do that. So what we're telling you now is, in 12 years, have things changed? Yes. But are they still very similar? Yes. We're teaching you what's working, and you can do it even faster. Like you can talk to so many more people now than driving without social media 4, 5, 6 hours to a wrap party to talk to 4 people and then turning around and coming back. And I did that, you guys. And now I have the ability to just reach out in 10 minutes, reaching out to 30 minutes or to 30 people in 10 minutes and asking a question, and possibly getting 14 loyal customers in 2 days, right? So that's a huge, huge difference that we do. But it's really, we're giving you here, take your 15 minutes at night to reach out, to ask for people to do the host to post, get it up. Don't overthink it. Respond in the morning. It's okay to respond to all those people. Then you're going to knock it out even faster. And then use the scripts to get the loyal customers. You don't need to overthink, just copy and paste what that loyal customer program is. And that's what happens. And so I would have done that. Somebody said, this is what you do. I'm doing that. Like, I'm going to listen to what Mandy and Sherry did, and they did what was told last week and put it into action and had massive success. And they're going to start off August having massive success. So I just wanted you guys to really see that. Was there anything that you did differently, Sherry or Mandy? You can either one say that, or were you pretty much like, this is what I did? Sherry, go ahead.
The thing I don't know that it's so different, but I was getting back to some of the basics that I used to do. One is boards. You can fall guilty of scripting too much. Like, and this may sound kind of crazy, but our answers are there. And sometimes it's great. You can go through the whole conversation through your board scripts because they're in there step by step. But the one thing I've noticed too is sometimes if you're in your messages, and I don't know how many people know this, but like this girl, like when you're talking to them, and when your keyboard is up, those little dots are, well, if you're an iPhone, is those little dots are going. And so it looks like you're typing. And so if you just do that a few seconds before you just hit send, it at least looks like you're typing it and you're not just a robot sending messages. That along with voice messages. If you can, and I know the first few you do, I hate to hear my voice. I hate to hear my voice. But it's the fact that I want them to know I'm real. I'm behind the screen. I'm a real person. It's not just words. So sending a voice message and they're even saying some of those things, or even saying, oh my gosh, I know you're going to love this. Let me grab the pricing for you and then send your script. That goes a long way. And the other one that's really helped me a lot is even though they say they want the gummies or the coffee, whatever I'm posting, I say, just help me a little bit. How much are you looking to lose? Tell me a little bit about your eating and fitness habits and how's your water intake? Because then if they're wanting to lose 50 pounds, they're not going to like the gummies. They're not going to, and you're not going to have a happy customer. So why don't you find out what their goals are and then maybe set them up on a dual burn with like a TFX and the gummies. Know your products enough to put together some of those packages with the pick 2 and pick 3. Not only are you upselling, but you're doing your job. You're helping your customers find a solution. And then any result pictures you have of yourself, share those along the way after you send the information. And if you don't have your own, get your own. And if not, then find somebody else's to use until you have yours, because when they can see it, that it's really working and you are someone who, I'm a person who loves to, oh, sorry, my dog's in here, loves to look for a before and after picture. When I can find someone who kind of looks like me or has the results I'm wanting, I'm in. I will take whatever you have. So when you can send a picture to go with your scripts and your voice, you guys, the sky's the limit. That's really what took me to my next steps.
Yep. And you guys, Amber said that last week as well. She's got before and after pictures. So, I liked it when she said she had short hair, so she didn't necessarily do a lot of the host to post with hair, skin, and nails because she didn't have a before and after picture with her results picture of having this long hair after using the results. So, making sure that when you're doing the host to post, have some before and afters of those, but then saying, oh, this is my friend. If you don't have them yet, it's okay. But make sure that you have an arsenal of before and after pictures saved somewhere in your favorites or in an album so that you can send those, having some reviews of some things. But really it comes down to being a product of the product, getting these host to posts out, doing the asks, staying focused, staying disciplined, and how many things that you want, but just doing the work. And I think not getting, it reminded me really last week is not to get discouraged. If something doesn't work, go outside of your box a little bit, maybe do it in a different hour of the day. Those are some things that we can really start to shift. And so when people were saying they send them out at night, I was like, what the heck? I'm pretty scheduled. And so I like to do things in the morning. So I was like, oh, this is so awkward for me to do at a different time, but it's okay. It's going to feel weird, but I want the results. So where is it? Have you been pretty scheduled? I'm not saying don't be scheduled because I want you to do the focused work, but shift where you're scheduled at. So if you were a morning person, getting those asks out or the posts up, do them on different hours of the day and watch your algorithm switch. You're going to get different people from different time zones, all kinds of things. So I hope that this Zoom really helped you guys on hearing, I think we all think that there's something magical out there that people are doing, and it's really not. It's just being consistent. It's doing the work and it's being focused with it. So I hope you all loved it. If you guys loved it, drop a 1 for them, give them a thank you, something. But we'll make sure that you guys have some of the scripts that these girls are using. But yeah, just don't be afraid to get out there, open the door for conversation. And then from there, you can talk about, being a loyal customer. Maybe they do a post for you to get a free, sample of something, whatever that is that you want to do, but make sure that you do that. So I appreciate you guys so much. I'm excited for you guys to just have a huge August. I can't wait to see where we're at next week. Have a couple more people that are going to be amazing, sharing some other things. And sometimes you guys, it's the same thing, but that's what duplication is. That's what we want, is the duplication part to really skyrocket. So I appreciate you guys. Have an amazing week. And then we'll see you guys again next Monday. Thanks, girls.
Bye.